Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie.
So,
My and me. I think I said and
Marnie.
I
Just so you know.
I try and keep it all even keel going forward.
Yeah, but you've had a really busy day.
I have, girls. I have girlies and lads and ladles. I've been through it. I am here. The same.
I'm so finished.
I am weirdly not exhausted.
I'm surprised because when you said I've been drinking for the past, I didn't by this point for the past 5 hours.
It was not 5 hours.
4 hours.
4
hours. Yeah, I would be asleep. I was questioning whether you were gonna make it to my house.
we had pizza before.
Okay.
Which I think soaked some of it up, and also a glass, conversation, then a glass. So realistically, I had maybe 3 glasses of wine.
Okay.
4 glasses.
Oh, that's better than I thought. Yeah.
But not filled glasses.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I don't think I've drank half a bottle or anything like that. And also there's spaces between it, which I think has been good.
Because when you messaged saying I've been drinking since this time, I was thinking, well, this is gonna be a fun podcast.
I probably, if I was drunk, I would not have come.
Yeah,
I've been drinking since 5, and I am on my way to my house to sleep. A policeman is walking me home, so I just don't think I'm gonna make it on the pod. No, I was like, I've got plans, so I really can't be like, yeah, let's get hammered. But you also can't. I mean, work events are not really places to be like.
That's true.
Can someone take me home? Like, I don't know you guys like that.
No. That's why I try and if I'm drinking is minimum or with water.
A friend of ours is like on those terms at work, and now I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe it is not good.
I know. Well,
but then at my old
Yeah.
workplace, at my old workplace, I did have a friend who I was like, who would be like, yeah, I did put you in a cab. Maybe it's not like completely absurd to imagine that you'd be friends enough with people at work that they put you in a cab. But what you definitely don't want is everyone to know that you're a person that needs to be
put in the cab.
Someone needs to put Shoshanna in the cab.
Yeah, I mean,
every night out, Shoshanna gets too drunk. We put her in a cab.
I mean, that being said, I don't go on nights out with people I work with. I don't barely go on nights out anyway.
Wow, Shoshanna has no social life.
When I say nights out, I mean out. Like, it's very rare. We talked about it on the pod a few times that we have been out, and it's not always my vibe. Like, I need to prep for it. A work thing never could lead to a night out.
Oh, I'm definitely like, if I was out, like, if that work drink's been like, should we go out to a club? I'd be like, no. There's
been times when that's happened, and I've just been like, I'm gonna as you guys are walking to the station, I'm gonna jump on the train that's gonna take me home. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tell me how it goes.
For me to be like, let's go to a club, it would be like, actually, maybe one of my work friends is an actual friend of mine. Yeah, and it's like, we're gonna go to the club. Yeah. And if you guys want to come, you can. But really, also, if you guys drop off, we don't care because we're going to the club.
But we're there, you can come.
I'm trying to imagine like my exec being like, oh, we're going to the club.
No.
My exec actually brought their kids to
the club.
No, to work drinks.
Interesting. But if it's like a casual thing, I think it's fine. If it's something that's like, you know those pubs that have like a garden outside and it's in summer and the kids can like run around.
Right, but how's that casual?
Then I think if it's casual like that, I think like the kids can go.
But what if it's indoors?
Yeah, why is your kids there?
That's right.
Your kid.
The issue isn't whether it's casual or not. The issue is whether indoors or outdoors.
Yeah. Also, I just think that if the kids are coming, it's more like, here are my kids. We are going home. My husband has come to pick me up, and the kids are there.
So this is a big flex.
Yeah.
You go to work drinks. You're like, I'd love to stay, but I actually have a husband. I have a husband and I have kids. So I'm gonna have to leave. Oh, here he is. Hey, babe. Hey. Oh, guys. Yes, this is Sebastian and this is Clara. Yeah, they're my kids. And this is my husband, Paul. No. We've got to go now, but thank you guys. Like, I can't wait to see you guys next week. Have a good one.
I'm so finished.
Have one for us. Just you and your 2.4 kids waving at. Like, that's such a flex.
You think? I think it's just like, I'm merging a little bit of my world.
Absolutely not.
Like, I want you to have a taste. Like, I want you to see that I'm human.
For you to at work to know my kids, but every other thing in my life has fallen apart. Yeah. I've had to bring my kids to work today. True. Guys, please don't talk to him he's supposed to be doing his work.
I was in a meeting and one of the execs did bring her child and was like, oh, I'm sorry, I've got a guest. And her really cute daughter came in and it was like, I think it was one of those things where either it was a school strike or childcare kind of fell through, and she was like, I'm really sorry, I'm just bringing a little guest in. And then she came, she worked, she had no idea what was going on, and it was cute.
Yeah, we had a colleague, I think, whose plan was to work from home, who works from home usually that day.
Yeah.
And then had to come into work for something, so she was like, and my daughter's here.
Yeah.
Ooh, like,
hey.
And then they just sat down and read a book.
Yeah.
And then when their mum was done, they left.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were in the work office for 3 hours.
No.
I think they were in the office for literally like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's normally quite quick because kids get bored.
Yeah, and I think as a parent, I'd be like, this is not even a place that I want to have my kid in. Like, I'm trying to concentrate on work. Now I'm like,
looking at you.
Are you okay? Are you bored? Do you need to eat? Do you need the bathroom? Don't talk to anyone.
I don't know. It's one of those things.
But you feel like it's okay to bring your whole family to drink?
I'm saying, not drink, I'm literally saying I'm leaving. My husband is my ride back to my house.
So why has he got out of the car and come into the pub? If not to flex, look at you. You can't
sorry.
A coy little smile whoops.
No.
My husband has come in.
I'm just thinking
he needed the bathroom.
I'm actually thinking of one time, so we had an offsite at one of my previous jobs, and the MD, like director of our department, he lived very close by, and his family were just like
absolute
nearby.
Flex. Just flex. Like,
I mean, it was interesting because people were assuming that he had an affair with someone in the office. So
a colleague of mine was saying that we went on a work trip to the theatre.
Yeah.
And she and I had actually gone to see the show already.
Yeah.
And they were doing a second trip, and she went to see it, but she brought her partner.
So it was you, her, and partner. Oh,
I didn't go.
Yeah.
It was 4 guys from work.
Yeah.
And then her.
Yeah.
And her partner.
I think that's fine, because it's like almost the people that work.
Yeah, but then you have to introduce your partner to the people that you work. We're not friends.
Yeah, maybe not that.
I'm not trying to introduce.
But I know people that everyone knows everyone. Like, my husband, my wife, is their family. I think COVID made the lines blur a bit.
She was like, oh, I don't think one of the colleagues from work liked her partner. I was like, this is exactly why I would never you're setting yourself up. Yeah. Because I bet you that person didn't have a problem with your partner at all. But like, you're obviously feeling anxious about merging these two worlds. So you're like, oh, he blinked weird, so that must mean he hates her. Like, I'm not trying to think about these things.
It's hard. I even think about it like when, usually for my birthday, if it's a big birthday, I try to bring like different groups together. And I have brought some ex-work colleagues in. Like,
you kissed every single one of them.
Don't you dare start spreading rumours that are completely untrue. Not one of those guys I have.
Every single work friend that Shoshanna brings to her birthday, she has switched.
Absolutely not. But they are good friends, but I think we're close when we were working together, and then we've just stayed in contact afterwards. But I think the only reason why I would bring them into that space is usually if I'm not working with them anymore. Like, we become much closer when we leave. Does that make sense? Do not be spreading rumours about me.
I'm just saying what I have seen with my own eyes.
You have not seen anything with your own eyes, because I'm surprised too. When you're like, she smooched him, have I? Because
that's exactly what you would say though. On the podcast, he would act like he didn't.
No, I did. Honestly, I didn't. Because I'll be honest, they wouldn't be my friends if we'd smooched.
I agree with you. Listen, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm just saying what I've seen with my own eyes.
The irony, you're talking about me. Oh, you like people at work.
Who have I smooched? Who have I smooched at work?
Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's for another day. Another day, another pod.
Doesn't that sound like a guilty woman trying to push the agenda away from herself?
No.
Being like, having you smooched people out.
I don't. Why am I smooching people at work? Literally, that's
don't ask me. I don't do
my
it.
platinum rule.
You smooch the person.
My platinum rule is to absolutely not mix business with pleasure.
But why do you have that rule? Because you would already smooch about 8 people at work.
What do you mean 8 people? Stop lying on me.
I'm so sorry. But the truth of the matter is, you don't make that rule unless you have been burnt by the rule.
No, it's a platinum rule because I've seen it go horribly wrong. Not with me.
Your own eyes, because you had smooched 8 people at the office and they started talking to each other.
No.
They said, hold on a second, but I was dating Shoshanna. They were like, I thought I was dating
Don't
Shoshanna.
start spreading these
And
rumours.
then all of a sudden, all of them come to Shoshanna's desk in the middle of the day. She's like, I don't remember scheduling a meeting. They're like, we'd like to talk to you in the meeting room.
This is
now.
a beautiful story that you're writing. This is a beautiful episode that you're writing for whatever future show you're working on. Meeting room.
She's like, guys, I'm in the middle of something. Can this wait? Could this be an email? And they're like, did you or did you not promise that you would be with me? And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then all of them slowly were like, you said that to me. No, you said that to me. No, you said that to me. No, you said that to me. And then Shoshanna said, well, if it isn't the consequences of my actions.
The thing is, this sounds like a really great episode, and you talking about it is the reason why I would never do it myself. But for the girlies that are out there doing it, please don't do it. Don't waste your time.
Shoshanna said, listen, all of you are lying on me.
No,
every single one of you is a liar.
I know my truth.
And if one of you spreads this rumour, I'm going to HR and you're going to be cancelled. And they were like, wow, we can't tell our truth now because Shoshanna is banning us from speaking. And that's when they emailed me and they said...
and you're now part of the story. Now you know it's a lie. Like, girlies, lads, ladles, this girl is lying. I'm not...
Shout our truth, Marnie, because Shoshanna has basically... She's gaslighting us. And I said,
oh my gosh.
I'll do my best, lads. And ladles.
Don't, you see, all this, it sounds like, what's it called? Something of your imagination.
A figment.
It does sound like a massive figment of your imagination.
But you would say that. I would say the same thing. If I'd been caught in a lie, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think, look, people have work crushes. For me, it's a no.
Is that not based on the 8 people that you smooched in the office?
No. I just concentrate on the work.
How about the 4 people that you smooched in the office?
The only person I'm interested in is my work.
Well, lads, let's leave that there.
Let's leave it because the thing is, you're out there trying to expose me.
When we get to 1,000 plays, Shoshanna will have to tell the truth.
I've already told the truth.
She'll have to tell the truth then.
And definitely not 8 men.
8 men.
Women. Nobody, like guys, ladies, girlies, lads, ladles, don't mix business with pleasure. The only pleasure you should be getting is from your work and for your salary.
And that's Shoshanna speaking from experience.
No, I'm not speaking from experience.
Speaking from experience?
I just think from what I've seen in my
experience,
in my 10 years of working in full-time
colleagues.
Done. Okay, let's move on because we're not going to stop. So
it's time for pop culture news.
Let's do it.
So I hate to do this for a second week in a row, but
go on.
Something terrible has happened.
What happened?
The Renaissance store has started.
Has what?
The Renaissance store has started. The Renaissance tour has started, which means every performance that I'm not at, I might not be at the Renaissance tour, and that doesn't sit well with my spirit.
The closer and closer
I am waking up in cold sweats in the night. I'm like, oh, something is weighing on my chest. What is it? Why am I not at the Renaissance tour? Why am I waking up every morning? Here's 18 TikToks of people getting ready or talking about their experience. I don't want to hear that. I want to be there for my own eyes. Why am I seeing costumes? Why am I seeing set lists? Why am I seeing performances? I should be there.
You can watch it and feel like you are part of it in the comfort of your own home.
I don't feel like that.
You don't even need to dress up. You can wear your pyjamas.
I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. I'm actually just fuming.
I mean,
I'm actually, for the first time in my life, shaking and throwing up.
I think if you love that album, which we know Marnie did, yeah, I would feel gutted.
She's not even doing. It's not even the track list. Isn't even the whole album.
Is it not?
No.
That's interesting.
No.
I mean, that being said, so Beyonce started her tour in Sweden. She's just started it. I think that the set list will change and adapt and evolve as she moves to different cities. When she gets to London, you know.
Right. So the lads are saying this is what I'm hearing on the grapevine from the Hive.
Yeah.
Beyonce has hurt her ankle.
I'll be honest, that was one thing I was going to say.
Beyonce's hurt her ankle.
Yeah.
And apparently she hurt her ankle a while ago.
With Dubai. With that Dubai,
Yeah. We all thought it's going to be healed. Seeing the vids that I've seen, she's not going as hard as she usually goes, which is evidence that maybe that ankle has not healed.
Yeah. I'll be honest, so that was my big thing, and I wanted to say, like...
Which might explain the set list being what it is, because it's not big dancey track.
That's true, because it was giving me quite stiff. And I love Beyonce, and look, like the girlie says, the mic is always on. Beyonce can move left and right, do the two-step, and the mic will always be on. Her voice sounds amazing, but she looked very stiff, like really stiff. And I do think, it's got something to do with the injury, and it's not healing up. Or, as I read on some of the comments on TikTok, because again, the comments are always live on TikTok. Someone was like, Beyonce is in a Mariah Carey era of touring, where if you see performances of Mariah Carey, she just stands there with the mic and sings. Or like Adele, I'll be honest.
I heard another thing I heard from the Hive. This is a retirement tour. Beyonce is wrapping it up. That's what the girls are saying. I
think that Beyonce will retire when she does Vegas. She's done Vegas once. It was for Revel, the hotel that was just opening up there, and she did it for, I think, the album 4, and she was pregnant. But I think Beyonce will only do a retirement thing as a kind of like residency, goodbye type of thing, and the girlies will come to her, and that will be her retirement tour. And it will not just be, there'll be no dances. It'll be Mike standing, and her backup dancers will be doing what Rihanna's backup dancers did at the Super Bowl, making her look good. What are your thoughts anyway? Do you think it's a retirement tour?
I feel like my shaking and throwing up is exacerbated by the idea that this is a retirement tour. Because if this was my last chance to see her, and I'm not in Club Renaissance, I'm in my home.
You can make Club Renaissance in your home.
I'm not interested.
You can get some disco lights.
I found out as well today that a colleague of mine is going to Renaissance in June. I cannot believe this. I think it should be illegal for white people to go. If I don't have a ticket. They should have done blacks first.
I'm sorry.
Blacks first and then white people. I deserve it. Reparations. Give me your ticket.
Finished. I'm actually finished. Imagine if you actually said that. Do you think?
I'm going to say it when I next see the person.
My other tactic I told you was find a date and tell him that you want to go to Beyonce and go and see Beyonce together with him.
But this is honestly...
Or ask your guy at work. You know, the guy you really like and care about.
Wow.
Sorry. You just spent most of the beginning of this podcast lying on me saying that I smooched 8 guys. I can't say the truth. Please.
Wow. If this is not proof that Shoshanna feels attacked and is trying to retaliate by trying to spread malicious rumours about me in response to very truthful rumours about her.
I'll be honest, it's a no for me.
I will go. I feel like in my heart, like I said, it doesn't sit right with my spirit to not be there, so I must be there. But how am I going to get there is the question now.
Get that resale ticket, or...
I'm not paying a penny.
Smuggle yourself into that.
I've decided I'm not paying a penny.
Smuggle yourself into that Tottenham...
If we have to... No, I shouldn't joke about this. It's not funny.
No. Oh, dude, my brother, ages ago, and it wasn't for Beyonce, it was like a football game. He was like volunteering in the stadium.
I'm not volunteering. I have to wear my outfit.
Sorry, you can wear your neon jacket as you're telling people to go left, right, F5 exits are straight on, and to the side.
So do you think we're on an airplane?
Yeah.
Because that's not what they do in the O2. They just stand there.
It's not O2, it's the Tottenham Stadium. Like, guys, you need to turn to your left.
It's actually too big.
Yeah, it's big.
I stand by my thing. Let me just...
Don't say it, because that's how Asha K happened.
I'm not saying I'm going to do that. What I'm saying is, if I'm not in Club Renaissance, there's actually no point going. Because I feel like those nosebleed seats are shit.
I went to see Beyonce
at Tottenham's.
No,
yeah, exactly.
It was O2.
But the O2 seats are not bad.
It was Wembley Arena, and Wembley Arena is huge.
But it's not.
And I was in the nosebleed seats, and I had a well of a time.
Yeah,
Beyonce was a dot, but do you know what? It's the community. It was all about community.
I don't want the community. I want to be this girl. I want to be eye to eye.
Like, hey, girl.
So I can be like 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember the moves.
Yeah.
Remember the moves, Beyonce.
I don't think she'd be giving those moves. The way she was looking, she's gonna stand there, wave her arms, and the girlies behind her will do all the moves for her.
She's gonna shake her boobies.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like, I'm surprised that she hasn't said anything about like the injury. She never mentioned anything about even the Dubai one, and I'm surprised. Not that she's doing the tour now, but I'm surprised that she didn't decide to announce the tour when she was really healed up.
Yeah,
because it does take time to heal. I mean, as someone who fractured her foot last year,
yeah,
it took you know, there was the initial healing period that the doctors told me, but I didn't start feeling like almost back to normal for another 3 or so months extra on top of that. So, you know, it does take time for your body to heal, and especially the way Beyonce goes, like she goes hard. I was a bit concerned when I saw the moves, and I was like, this don't feel like a Beyonce tour to me. I mean, she's still better, even on her worst day. She's still better than majority of the girls who are touring now. 100%. Taylor Swift.
Wow, I don't know.
Rihanna, I love her.
Have you been to see Taylor Swift live?
I don't need to see her live.
Have you been to see Rihanna live?
I don't need to see her. I mean, I do want to see her live. I do want to see her live.
How can you speak on how they are live when you've never been to see them?
I've seen videos. I've done what you did. I saw the TikToks. I saw that. For me...
But you're already a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You hate Taylor Swift.
I don't hate Taylor Swift.
I came in here, the first thing you said to me was, I hope Taylor Swift gets hit by a car.
It's today the day you're lying. It's today your day you're lying.
That's a really strong impulse that you feel about Taylor Swift. Like, what has she done to you? And you said, I just think that she's talentless, stiff, and ugly.
Girlies and lads, Shoshanna. Remember that Marnie's been drinking for the past 4 or 5 hours. So all the things that she say is just based on pure BS.
Wow. And now, again, Shoshanna trying to gaslight you guys into being like, don't believe her. She's an alkie.
Oh, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that on Beyonce's worst day, when she's doing the 2-step, she still has more rhythm in her pinky than a lot of these girls in the industry.
And I said name names, and you said did. Taylor Swift.
No, I could give you a couple more, but we don't have enough time on this pod.
I don't think we should be. Listen, guys, I don't believe in downplaying someone else's talents to upplay someone else's. True. So me personally, I think we're all God's children.
Okay,
and
we're
we
done.
all should be celebrated.
So finished.
But to me, the most important thing is how am I gonna get
the tickets? Are you going to do resale? Just go to the resale site and see what's out there. Because people may have to cancel. That being said, one of the directors in our team, he's moving to another market, and he's supposed to like go to South America later in this year. And I was like, oh, when are you moving? He was like, I'm moving later in this year. I can't miss Beyonce. He's like,
I'm so sorry. Like, if I had tickets,
he's like, my role starts now, but I can't leave the UK. I have to be here for Beyonce.
If I had tickets and I got hit by a car, I'd be like, will my NHS bed.
I'm so finished.
I have to be at that concert. I don't care.
So finished.
I don't care.
I will
discharge me. I'll come back tomorrow in A&E and be like, oh, I'm still bleeding.
I'm so done.
I gotta be on the stage.
I will pray that there's a way, because God can make a way where there seems to be no way.
Wow.
He works in ways you cannot see. He will make.
I cannot believe this. I feel like you're mocking me.
I'm not mocking you. I'm just saying that I'm wishing that your wish will be granted.
It's not a wish so much as it is
a demand.
Yeah, at this point, I just feel like my life is at a crossroads right now. And there is a version of me that makes it to Renaissance, and there's a version of me that doesn't. But I don't want to know what happens to that girl that doesn't.
But for me, I'm glad that we live in a world where people will, of course, bring out their cameras.
I don't want to experience it that way.
I mean,
you know, when you can feel the music in your feet, like it's so loud, it's moving through your chest, just like. But boom, 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 boom,
for me, I enjoyed Homecoming. I would have loved to. That actually, out of a lot of her shows, I would have loved to be at Homecoming. But
you're never going to be able to be
there. I'm not, but I have Netflix. I can always just flick it on.
I feel like this is what I'm afraid of. What if Renaissance is a once in a lifetime opportunity and I've missed it?
You know she's gonna do a film about it anyway.
I want to be in the audience. I want to be on. I want to be in the documentary because they caught a clip of me being like.
There's this famous guy who's like, apparently he may have been Beyonce's cousin, and he brings his ID out as she's performing, And he's like, he takes it, and Beyonce's like, "Are you my cousin?" And he's like, "No, I'm your husband." And I remember it vividly.
She has a husband.
I know, but it was a funny moment, and the way he was singing, I didn't.
Was it Jay-Z?
It wasn't Jay-Z, no. But the fan interactions are memorable. Like, I still remember it too much to this day.
And that could be me.
That could have been.
She could be like, "How's everyone doing tonight?" And I'd be like, "Woo!"
Yeah.
And she was like,
"You need to do something a bit more unique."
"How are you?" And I'm like, "Beyonce." She's like, okay.
Anything else? Beyonce.
Beyonce. It's me.
Beyonce.
Maybe that's what I say when she
I'm
comes
your
to me.
Beyonce.
I'm like, "It's me." And she's like,
who?
I'm like, "You don't recognise me, Beyonce?" And she's like, "What?"
Kenny?
I'm like, "That's right. It's me, Kelly Rowland."
I'm so... How are you
to
Kelly
be in the
Rowland?
Gen Pop, but let me on the
Are you
stage.
Kelly Rowland?
It's me, your cousin, Calendria Rowland.
How are you gonna blackmail her
I'm
to be
not.
her cousin? That you're her cousin.
I am her cousin.
And you need to let her on stage. I think apparently the UK one's a
I
chance.
slipped off the stage.
Yeah.
Let me back up. I wanted to dance.
And as you're dancing, like Kelly Rowland walks on, like, "Hey guys."
They're really stupid because for real, now that they posted those videos, I could go away, make a costume that looks like one of the dancers' costumes, go to the stage,
I mean, it's
be like, "Oh, I slipped off, let me up." So pull me up, and I'm just like,
he's highly on. Yeah, everyone's like doing the actual dance move. You're there doing something completely left field.
I'm Duffy Wiley.
Yeah,
And they're like, "Who is this?"
That person, nah. And also,
lifts me
the
up
security
off stage.
is on sat.
And
It's
everyone in the audience is like chanting my name, like, she did it,
finished.
she made it on stage, and she
I'm
done
actually
one
done.
until security lifted her off stage.
Yeah,
And I say, "Just dance."
Yeah. I'll be honest, this is giving me real swarm energy. Real swarm energy. Last episode of Swarm, that's what it's giving me.
And I'm just crowd surfing.
I say crowd surf you to the back of the crowd, and then as soon as you land on your feet, the police are there going, "I've been waiting for you."
I'm like, "Take me in, boys."
I'm so done.
I can't wait for there to be an official record of my experience at Club Renaissance.
And then you have something in your file, and they'll be like, "What happened?" And like, "I went to see Club Renaissance."
Can I have to ask the person who's going at work to smuggle me in
I
their
think
bag
you may
or
have
something?
to. I mean, I don't think you're going to get away with it.
Suitcase.
You're nothing.
Why can't you bring a suitcase to the concert?
Because of people like you. Or can you smuggle me in? What do you think this is?
I'm going to start practicing contortionism so I can fit.
I think
I
yeah.
could actually fit. If I can hold myself like this for 8 to 10 hours.
I'm so done. You know what? We will continue on. Well, Marnie will continue on her hunt to find tickets for Club
I just want May
Renaissance.
to be over. I just want it to have happened
But
and I
then
missed
it's
it.
still
I don't
got more
want.
days in
I
June.
hate
And
that there are like. I'm just in my brain. It's just going to be a ticking clock of like.
Isn't she going to the States as well? Why don't you just get a ticket to the States?
If I don't have money for Club Renaissance, I'm going to have money to fly all the way to States and be in those B seats in America. I want to be in Club Renaissance here.
Why? Look, why don't you make it like a work trip to go to LA and then get a ticket to go to the LA show?
No, I'm going to, and I hate to admit this on the podcast, but
Don't do it.
do whatever it takes.
No. If I hear that your feet are being sold online for Club Renaissance tickets,
I'm going to sell whatever I need to sell to get. I will sell my home.
Okay, we're now finished with this segment.
If you are listening to the podcast and you can get me into Club Renaissance, please reach out via the email. I want to go so badly. I'm willing to attend with one of you uggos.
Okay, you've really lost your chance.
Lads, ladles, I can't wait to be with you guys. Just like, hi, I'm a new friend.
Let's just see how it goes. We'll continue to record the journey because this really is a journey. We've been talking about Club Renaissance. No, we've been talking about the Renaissance tour for a while. Marnie's been desperate to see it. I'm cool. I'm chill. But that being said, I've also seen Beyonce. So it's a little bit different. And I'm not the biggest fan of this album. So again, a little bit different. But we will see how this goes. Marnie, keep us posted.
No, I don't want to. It feels like what you're saying is come on here every week and share your trauma with the cast. I don't
This
want
may
to
just make you feel good. I heard that there was definitely some girlies on TikTok who were doing their own like Renaissance, pre-Renaissance.
No! Not pre-Renaissance!
Pre-Renaissance parties.
I
Go
can't
to
think about this
a
anymore.
Renaissance party, and then I'm sure another girl will be out there like live recording the show.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's making me upset.
All right, we're gonna have to move on because I can really see Marnie's face and how hurt she is. Yeah, let's move on.
I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Well, maybe we have to move from Queen to Queen Charlotte.
I'm leaving. I'm actually leaving. I just can't do this now. I feel like you're making a mug of me. You're making a mug of Queen Charlotte.
I'm not. We're gonna go into our review of this week.
Yeah. From
one queen to another.
Boo. So our review of the week this week is Queen Charlotte, a prequel from Shonda Rhimes of the Bridgerton series.
Yeah. It stars
India Rhea Amartifio,
who plays the young Queen Charlotte.
Corey Miltrist,
who plays the young King George.
Golda Roshieval,
yeah. She plays Queen Charlotte, but also in the Bridgerton series.
Arsema Thomas,
who plays the young Lady Danbury.
Adra Ando,
who plays the older Lady
Danbury.
Goodness me.
God, we can't speak English.
Yeah.
Sorry, have you been drinking since 5?
No, I've not actually. I've just been drinking water.
Ruth Gemmell, who plays Lady Violet.
Also Tracy Beaker's mum.
Yeah, I know.
She'll always be Tracy Beaker's mum now I know.
Michelle Fairley, who plays like the king's mother, Augusta.
Who
is Nathan's mum in Misfits. But she's also Robb Stark's mum in Game of Thrones.
That's it. I was like, she looks so familiar.
She's always going to be Nathan's mum in Misfits.
No, to me, she'll always be the mum in Game of Thrones.
Sam Kennett played young Brimsley.
Okay.
Cyril Henry, I think is how you say it, is Lord Danbury.
Okay. Oh, God.
And Keir Charles is Lord Ledger. And Tunji Kasim is Prince Adolphus, who is Charlotte's brother.
Yeah.
And that's top billing.
Yeah. So,
where's the guy who is Brimsley's partner?
Yeah. Oh, there. Is that him?
No, he's not here.
Oh.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Reynolds is called Freddie Dennis.
Yeah. So we have a wide cast, and this is like a limited series.
Julie Andrews is the voice of Lady Whistledown.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Is. Yeah, she is.
I did not know that.
I saw her in the credits. I was like, Julie Andrews is in this, exciting, and I realised she is the voice. And actually, the Bridgerton, like Lady Whistledown, only really features in episode 1, and I think it's just that continuation from what Bridgerton.
No, she speaks in every episode.
Oh yeah, so she's the main. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
I don't know what you're talking
about.
Yeah,
forget that. Scrap what I just said.
Honey.
She is the main narrator who is like.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, I really rushed through it, but.
So basically, the synopsis of the show is: Queen is a young princess called Charlotte. She's German by descent.
Yeah.
Is told by her brother Adolphus that she has been signed away.
It's traded basically
to marry the King of England
called George.
She turns up there. She's never met him, but they're getting married. That's how that works. Yeah. She meets him on the day of the wedding. She thinks he's hot. Maybe this might work out. But on the wedding night, he says, "You're going to stay in this house and I'm going to stay somewhere else."
Yeah.
So it soon becomes clear that this marriage is quite lonely and a bit of a prison for Charlotte. She loses her temper and she goes to find him at his place, and he's like, "I've been looking at stars
and Venus,
not cheating on you or nothing." And she's like, "Oh, okay, enough of that now. You have to come home."
And ultimately consummate the marriage because King George's mum and also all the parliamentary leaders are keen for this marriage, also known as a great experiment, to be consummated and be made official because, of course, it's been a business agreement.
So he comes home, they start to have sex. It's sort of only on even days, I think, is the days that they have sex. They hate each other. She doesn't get him, he doesn't get her, but he's also harbouring a secret, which she learns when she decides she does love him, actually, because he's very hot. That he has these sort of funny turns in which he sort of loses himself and thinks that he's in the stars or communicating with the stars, or that he's some sort of farmer. And she obviously is perturbed by this, feels shortchanged, shall we say, that she's been brought here to basically marry a mad king. He overhears this, they part ways for a bit again, and then she goes back and finds him and is like, listen, I love you, we can figure this out.
He's trying to address the issues that he's facing, because he knows that there's something wrong. And I think it becomes evidently clear to everyone that it's not a physical illness, it's a mental illness. So he asks his physician to do anything necessary to try and help him with this illness. So that includes perfect honest torture, like he gets not castrated, what's that thing when you get the fire?
Yeah, he's like burnt by
an
iron.
Yeah, with an iron, cast iron. They put leeches on him, they throw him in ice baths, just to try and change his,
like old timey remedies for what they see as an affliction.
Yeah, exactly, to change his brain chemistry. But Charlotte learns of these treatments and decides that she doesn't want him to suffer, and she'll prefer him to be mad and be himself without going through this affliction.
So I guess in the end she lives with him.
Yeah.
And then at some point he, I guess, is confined to his place in Kew Gardens.
Yeah.
To live out his mad days.
Yeah.
At some point they have 13 kids.
Fam.
We jump to the present.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's heir, which is her granddaughter, has passed away. And so she sort of tasks her children with having more kids.
Yeah.
And they're all like, we can't have kids. I don't know why. They have stupid reasons. And then eventually one of them, she forces them to get married, and one of them has a kid with the woman that she's forced them to marry, and she's in good spirits. And it ends with her visiting her husband, who, even though they are much, much, much older, they still have this connection, and he might have lost his mind a bit, but he recognises her when she goes under the bed. So they go both down under the bed, and she tells him, our kid's having a baby, and they're like, yay. Yeah. And it's very sweet.
Yeah. I think the bigger backdrop, and the initial backdrop, is that Queen Charlotte, and I think is in historical sources, it is assumed that Queen Charlotte is biracial. I'll be honest, throughout the whole show, not one person references race. They call it the Great Experiment. They say paint her skin, when they do a portrait of her, they say paint her portrait paler. But they never really reference...
Oh, they say she's too dark.
Oh, yeah, maybe at one point. But they never mention, that she's black.
No, they don't call her black, but she's also not black, is she? She's mixed race.
Yeah, not just her. I mean, the other...
Yeah.
Also,
they do a lot of... They're not like us.
Yeah, it's not like... They're not like us. They don't look like us. They don't belong here. So when Queen Charlotte... When they discovered... When Queen Charlotte comes to the UK, or comes to England to marry King George, the day that she comes to England, 6 hours later, they're supposed to get married. The King's mum says, oh, well, you're a lot darker than we thought. And then she says, oh, we need to get a court that looks like you. So they went to invite most of the, highly affluent black inhabitants or people in the vicinity area, I'll be honest, to be part of this wedding, so that the Queen will feel more accepted and welcomed, and this will be part of the great experiment of integrating the two different backgrounds. But everything was just masked on the whole idea of the great experiment. So, a lot of these affluent black people were given titles like Lord Danbury. What was his name?
Yes.
Danbury. Like Lord Danbury and his wife. Lord Danbury, let's just comment. what was the prosthetics that were going on?
There was no prosthetics. They just darkened his skin.
Yeah, I was so thrown off because, you know,
he looks dead.
That's the thing. He
from
looked
the beginning of the series, so it was quite.
If that was the point, and
okay.
But it's also, I don't know, it was supposed to be humorous, like supposed to be comedic. Because to me, I was like, how could you do this to this man?
I have a bigger point to say about that, but we'll come back to it. Should we talk about thematically the Great Experiment? Because I got to the end and I was like, now what is this show trying to say?
Yeah.
So the Great Experiment is the idea that the white King George is marrying a woman of colour, and that will merge the two, the blacks and the whites, and fix, I don't know, racism?
Yeah, like, it's going to change the face of Britain or England. That's what George almost kind of alludes to.
There is and it's not just him, it's Parliament, like, it's just, the Great Experiment. But what I kept on thinking is like, right, so is the idea that all these people believe if a white man has sex with a black woman, racism is cured because they've been doing that. And racism is still here. That's not enough. In fact, we literally have a white prince who is married to a black woman, and racism is alive and well, honey.
Hard.
It's, in fact, you've reinvigorated it. Racism was dying down. It said, oh, not this.
Oh my God. So there's two things that I thought of with the show in comparison, and not to Prince Harry and Meghan. Firstly, when Queen Charlotte was talking to her heir, so this is when she's older, and they're like, oh, why have none of you guys married? You know, you just out here just sleeping with anyone, including actresses. And they mentioned actresses like multiple times. I was like, is this supposed to be like a nod, like a really sly nod to Meghan because she was an actress? The second thing I thought of was actually the Harry and Meghan documentary, when Harry was like, you know, the royals or the firm didn't understand and recognise the importance of having someone like Meghan in the family to represent the Commonwealth. You know, it's so important that the Commonwealth saw that there was someone like Meghan.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was like Meghan. It's so good for the Commonwealth to see someone like Meghan in this position, because Meghan reflects them and looks like them. I said, not you doing this, Harry. Please, go and educate yourself.
In case people don't know this, pussy can't fix racism. That's not it. You're not about to sit here and say, after decades and decades, years and years, centuries and centuries, if vagina could fix racism, would it not have fixed it by now? Would it not have fixed it? Let's be all the way real.
Oh my God.
I hate the idea of minimizing something like racism too. Like, if only the two races could integrate and have sex, then it would fix all of their issues. No.
Look at it. I mean, the next generation, and look at the generations that are of mixed race, children, adults. There are many people with mixed heritage, mixed backgrounds,
whose parents are more racist for having done that. They haven't got less racist, they've become more racist. Please. Yeah. I was watching the whole series. I was like, wait, so did they get her because of an experiment? Because if I was her, I'm back in my bag, send me back to my country.
I thought it was
I'm not here to help you guys fix your little race issue in this country. I'm minding my own business in Germany. I came here because my brother said we don't have no money, we need help from the English. I'm here now. Whatever is a Great Experiment has got nothing to do with me. And also, I don't want to hear from my husband, I married you because you're black.
Yeah, true. I think it was two things. So, one, it was a trade alliance between this region in Germany and the UK, because that region in Germany needed protection from the UK. Mind you, I don't understand. Yeah, they just needed that. But secondly, I think they didn't expect Charlotte to be darker than they thought she was. So when they were like, oh, for her to be darker, that means this is now going to be a lot. How are we going to explain this, basically? How are we going to explain this to Parliament, to government, etc.? So
yeah, there's also another part of me that was like, were they like, oh, she's black, so she can have a crazy husband?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, no.
Like, if she was white, she wouldn't put up with this, but if she's black,
she can do the crazy.
What is going on here? They don't dig into it because that's just so symptomatic of Bridgerton. It's like up here, right? Let's stay where it's light and floaty and surface level.
Let's not talk about anything real. Yeah.
But at the same time, you keep hinting at real things. So now I'm starting to think, it might as well have just been like, hey, there's no racism in this world, right?
Yeah.
There's black nobles, there's white nobles. It is what it is. No, leave the integration shit in the dust.
Yeah.
Let's let it happen. So you have Lady Danbury basically constantly telling Charlotte, you have the lives of every single black person in this country on your back.
Shoulder.
If you don't conduct yourself properly, you're setting us all back.
Yeah. Honestly.
So clearly race is an issue.
Yeah, but no one references it. And the thing is, when I started watching Queen Charlotte, I went to do some research because Bridgerton and the series of Bridgerton is based on books by Julia Quinn.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just Google, did this woman actually write a book about race? Like a society where it was almost like racially diverse and open. And I realised no,
she didn't.
None of her protagonists are people of colour. It was purposely,
Shonda Rhimes' touch.
Effect. Oh, and I definitely felt Shonda Rhimes' touch in some of the writing. There were some moments between George and Charlotte that harken back to Scandal with Olivia and Fitz.
Yes.
And it was like when he was like, I choose you. And I was like, goodness me, have I not heard this before?
You're like, hold on, we're having a
wait,
flashback.
Is this where Fitz was like, I choose you, I want you, you own me? I was like, what?
While we're talking about Scandal, we better get on to the other elephant in the room, which is, if Shonda Rhimes is writing a show and there isn't a interracial couple at the heart of it, she ain't writing it.
Oh, 100%.
She's gonna pack her bags up.
100%.
She's gonna say, I can't make this show.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
No.
And then not only have we done interracial, now this is an interracial couple that is supposed to fix the universe. Their love is gonna fix the UK. I said, Shonda, the fantasy's gone too far now. It's easy for, and I'm thinking about now, like, it's easy for her to do that because she's not British.
Yeah.
She's American, so America's beyond repair. Yeah. But this fantasy version of the UK can be fixed by a black princess or queen. Which you have seen in the press recently is not the case.
Come on.
That black woman had to go back to her country because we said, get out of here. Get out of here. That's what we were saying to her. You're like, nah, but Bridgerton, we're going to fix that. We're not going to fix that.
No, we're not, fam.
So the whole time I was watching, I'm trying to enjoy this, but like the fantasy, part, this part of the fantasy, it's a no.
No.
It's a no, babe.
The point you made about like, why does this black princess have to have the mad king? And then the other black lady was there with some...
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
the
messed up man.
Black and black couple is a black woman with the worst love interest. And guess what? That man couldn't satisfy her. The person who did satisfy her in the end was what? White. He was white. And then she had a black love interest. And she said, I cannot marry you because I'm still pining after my white lover.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I said, Shonda Rhimes, keep your politics at home. I was talking about this another time where I was talking about, like, I think someone was talking about the phenomenon of black love, right? And it was like, well, writing black love is important now, or like performing black love, whatever it is, because there was a period of time where it's like you're watching shows where black men end up with white women or light skinned women, or like we don't get to see representations of what happens in real life, which are with black women. Yeah. Like you watch TV, you'd think the norm is every single black man dates every single white woman, and that's just simply not the case. That being said, Shonda Rhimes said, I'm not here for it. I'm not going to give you a little black love fantasy. Yeah. I'm here for the swirl girlies only. I'm here for the swirl girls.
Oh my gosh.
If you've ever fantasized about a white man, watch this show. This is what you're dreaming of. And the worst thing about it is the formula works.
It does. And also, let's not lie. The guy's hot.
The formula works. Because I'm sitting there being like, there's a moment where she is going to flee the wedding and she's climbing up the trellis and this guy comes and I thought, it's one of the footmen.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't even turn around.
She
She's
does
like,
too.
I'm trying to get over the wall. He's like, oh, you know, there's probably easier ways to get over the wall. She's like, I must get over the wall because I can't marry the prince. He's probably a troll because no one will speak about him. Has this full conversation, and he's like, well, I can't help you over the trellis because then I'd be helping you flee me. I'm the prince. And then she turns around and the camera, like, you properly look at it and I'm like, yeah, no, he's fit, you know.
He's fit.
I'm being 100% real with you. I'm not better than anyone. I am the scumbag. If I was that girly on the trellis, turn around. Okay.
But that being said,
Let me climb down off this trellis.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the minute she saw him, she's like, I'm marrying you.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
I'm sitting through thick and thin, mad or not.
Is that your man? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
I'll be honest, the person who's doing casting at Bridgerton are doing a great job. They have Roger Jean-Paul.
Who, I'm just sorry, isn't sexy.
I know he's not sexy, but he's an attractive guy.
He's a handsome man.
He's a handsome man. If Roger was coming to you like, I want to take you out for a date, or I want to call you. Like,
no,
yeah.
I'd be like,
yeah.
okay.
Call me like in Bridgerton style. Yeah, I'm down.
To be fair, Roger didn't really do it for me. The guy,
the last season,
I really like him, but he doesn't really do it for me.
He didn't do it for me.
The
guy who's coming up, he's not gonna do it for me either. No. I felt sorry for, because they were like,
this guy.
They were like, the next guy. So the next series is gonna focus on Colin and the brother and the girl Penelope, and they were like, oh, I feel so sorry for Colin because
hey, he's a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart, but like you're gonna follow George. You're gonna have to follow George. You have Reggie.
Reggae John Paul.
It's Reggae John Paul. You had Reggae, and then you're having the what's his name, Jonathan guy?
It's Jonathan.
And then you have this George Colin. What's his name again? Corey, and there's you. Oh, and there was a TikTok I heard, and this guy was like, "I'm not calling him ugly. I'm not calling the guy ugly, but look at King George." I was like, don't do this to this poor dude.
Oh, can I make a note now?
Yeah.
After I watched the series, why have I gone on TikTok now? Every other TikTok is their press.
Oh, really?
Press from... I don't know if my phone was listening to me watching the show.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, the interviews. Yeah.
I was like, listen, I'm going to say something now. I don't know when this has happened, but press for TV shows cringes me out.
Oh, when they're doing like questions,
I can't watch them.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, you sat there?
Did I watch one? And did I think, damn, this guy's sexy?
Yeah.
Well, I need to go back to my country, and I really need to reflect on myself as a person and what I'm doing to advance black people as a race. Because apparently, I'm a simp.
I'm so sorry.
I'm a simp. I am the weak link. Yeah. As I said to my friend one day, we were talking. I was like, the thing is, there's just too many weak links. I'm one of the weak links.
No.
I'm one of the weak links. If you're white and you're hot, I'm switching sides. I'm gonna be on the side of saying the thing is, interracial love, yeah. All I can say is I love my partner.
I just appreciate attractive guys. I think the guy who played the brother also was really attractive as well.
He was fine.
Yeah, don't do that to him. I think George was he's a personality, and then he had a good body too. A bit on this. He had a good body too.
Wow,
I'm not saying anymore.
Here she comes.
I'm not saying anymore. Because I've really expressed it wasn't an ick, it was just a preference to Marnie before. And,
here she comes.
I'm not actually even going to vocalize it.
Here she comes.
I just think when SZA was singing about big boys, I never got it.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Until I dated.
She said, I'm not going to say it. She's saying it. He said, I'm not going to say it, and then proceeded to say it.
All I'm going to say is, I get when SZA was singing about big boys. Done. Full stop.
So, you've heard her.
That was it.
She said, Corey, you're too skinny for me.
I didn't say he was skinny. I just said he was on a slight side, but the beauty was, he had done his squats. He worked hard on the squats.
He said, you're not going to catch a picture of me from the back. Lacking.
On those press interviews, he said, I think the world really deserves to see my butt. And I was like,
what?
I do. And the comments were like, I think we did. And I do agree. I think we did too. You look great.
This show was unhinged.
It was, really.
If I'm being completely honest, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I had my rom-com
trope. You did.
Ticked.
Yeah.
Enemies. It was weird because it was like lovers to enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers to enemies. I didn't like that. I want specific enemy.
Yeah.
Lovers. The
Yeah.
end.
No,
I don't want yo. There's too much yoing in
I
this.
didn't mind the yo-yo. The only thing that I felt like was a bit repetitive was when we did the throwbacks. And I loved that when they did the first transition, I was like, yes, show us the queen that we know and love from the Bridgerton series. And then we showed her, like, she's older with her 13 kids. Because that really answered some of the questions I had at the beginning. Because I was like, are they never going to have sex?
But I think that undercut the tension.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Cutting to her in the first episode, talking to her 13 kids. I was like, right, so this is going to have figured itself out.
Yeah, some of that was a bit annoying. Even, like, with the whole, like, at the end, the brother asking the girl, oh, would you, the brother asking Lady Danbury, would you come to Germany with me and marry me? And she was like, I already knew she was going to say no because she's here. So some of the throwbacks didn't work. But then the throwback of, the first time they did the throwbacks was nice to kind of like do the link back to Bridgerton, apart from the revealing of the children. But one thing I got a bit frustrating, was a bit repetitive about Queen Charlotte's older storyline, was that
it's too slow.
It was slow. It was just
too
like,
little was happening.
Yeah, it was like, I want an heir, and I was just like, you sound like an African auntie. Like,
she is an African auntie.
Yeah,
she's a queen.
She's a queen, and she just sounds like exactly like the king's mum that she hated. So it was just like, come on, this just feels like history repeating itself.
I think you're right. That was a flaw in the series, which is that when you meet Charlotte in the past, she's so anti the establishment and like doesn't understand the rules and why they have to live their lives that way. And in the present, she's like very much the establishment, and I don't think we really see the transition to her being this person who's like, I'm completely resigned to doing what I need to do. Because even like, she slowly adjusts to what she needs to do, but like even by the end of 6 in the past timeline, I wasn't like, right, that's a woman who's like, we do what we need to do, because she's still here backing her husband who's 2 seconds away from astral projecting. I don't know what you call what he's experiencing, but like I felt like, what we needed was that past story maybe to be like beginning of that relationship, midpoint of that relationship, so we could see the end, because it felt still so early on in their relationship. And it's like, right, you were with him and within the first 2 years you'd figured out he was mad and you'd figured out you were okay with it. So what was the next 20 years?
I mean, if they ever did a second season, then maybe that can be unpacked, but I just felt like, there's some parts that I wish I knew more. I even wish I knew some of the stuff like her being signed off to go and marry the king, like who her parents were. I know the parents had passed away, but I just wish there was a bit more of a backstory to her.
I weirdly wasn't like, where are her parents, who are her parents, so much, because I was like, this person, like her arrival here is the beginning of the story. I don't think we need to know about her past, but I also don't think we need a second season. Like, there isn't much story. Otherwise it's just repetitive, right? You could say we want to see each of the 13 children.
We just want to see George again. Just give us George.
What I'm genuinely, by the end of the series, I was like, well, now what I'm interested in is, when does she have these 13 kids? Because you have to, at least in 9 months at least.
Yeah, she was 17,
but
when she married King George, because she was like, I'm 7 and 10 years. I'm 10 and 17. I'm 10 and 7. I was like, huh?
But that's one kid a year, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's 13 years at least, where he was at least coherent enough that she was fucking him, that she could get pregnant.
Yeah. I think that even in his mad days, she still would, because he still recognised her.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point you're taking advantage of a vulnerable person.
True.
Being like, have more kids. This man can't even pull his own trousers up.
Yeah, true.
Be for real.
Yeah.
But I watched the first episode and I was like, well, he seems like I was like, when he says to her, I'm not staying here today on the wedding night, I'm going. I was like, right, he's either got a lover or he's gay.
Yeah!
I was like, he's gay. This is a story about a man who's gay. Got it. And then you get to she turns up at Kew Gardens where he's at, and he's like, I've just been looking at stars, and I'm not going to lie, Shoshanna, I said, turn this thing off right now.
Why?
If this is the truth, put the whole show in the bin. The
thing is, because I know some of the history behind the real life story, and I know Shonda in the disclaimer at the beginning is inspired by fact, but it's of course fiction. But because I know he's a mad king, and they started to lose this to it, I realized, oh, it's not just stars. So I was just waiting for it to unpack more. But
I didn't know any of this, so I was just like, what is happening?
But I was
her response to being like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. I'd have been like, send me back to Germany.
Yeah, sure.
I cannot be second place to the
stars.
Moon. I can't do it.
Again, he was hot. He was. Hot, so she was like, I will stay regardless.
But that is, to me, I think, lean into it.
Yeah,
I used to be a woman who had common sense. But then I saw this man, and it's all gone out the window.
Yeah.
I'll stay here till my dying day. Then don't even throw a tantrum when you see me in it. Just be like, hey, babe.
She saw the connection. She felt the connection with him when she first met him, when she was trying to climb the wall. When they got married and she kissed it, all that looks and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? Go for it. He's hot. And I loved when he was trying to cheer her up, like celebrated her and said, no, I'm not worthy of her.
Whatever.
When I saw her, I realised I'm the troll. I'm like, you probably are.
Yeah, but you was a troll from before because she was crazy from birth, you said. Oh, so you've always been a troll. Now what?
I appreciated the backstory they gave him a bit. The episode which was a deja vu, which you said it should have been shorter.
Yep.
And there was a lot of repetition.
We didn't need, because what I felt like we didn't need was all the steps before the marriage. I would have been happy to start from the day of the marriage, the mum being like, you need to get married because you're the king, and him saying, well, I've obviously got this affliction, I don't think I'm fit for anyone, and her saying, here's this doctor, he's going to help you. I feel like you could have crammed it down for me.
Maybe shorter.
Because if what I was saying before about the fact that I didn't need to see her past, it felt like she existed at the beginning of the show getting married. Yeah. He should have existed at the beginning of the show getting married. And they could have crafted that first episode, that flashback to show that there was that first time we meet them, it's obviously a much longer day for him, and he's been in that torture chair for hours, and that's why he's able to come out and do whatever he's doing. Because then what you see afterwards is him repeatedly going back to that doctor and going in the torture chair. So it's like, how many times do we have to see this? We get it. In his spare time, when she's not with him, this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then also what I thought was a bit dangerous is the idea that pussy can fix madness. I was like, no, don't put that out in the world.
Yeah, because every time she's like, oh, just look at me. You've got me. You can hold my hand.
It's like, that's not how that works. I get what you're doing because this is like a soapy show, but I also think this can be a bit harmful to people who have partners who have mental health issues that are serious, and them being like, look at me, babe, this isn't you, is not enough. No. Some people need to be on antidepressants. Some people need to be sectioned.
That being said, this was the 1800s, so 1800s, they didn't know what this would have been.
Course.
I think in when you read the historical sources, they assumed he had something like bipolar disorder.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't really get the shaking part. I was like, bipolar doesn't have physical symptoms, does it? Question mark.
No. None that we know of, but But I think you needed something to be like a signal of things are not all right or all well with George, and I think that's what the shaking was supposed to be, a signal. Yeah. Versus anything else.
I think it probably is that he's bipolar, which is fine. Because one thing I was struggling as I was watching is what is he's if you were going to translate this to modern times, what are we supposed to be watching right now? Yeah. And bipolar is probably the best explanation for it. I just find that could be problematic is the idea that you're saying, he just needed someone to be like, hey, I love you, like his mum didn't love him, or other people weren't capable of, but here comes Charlotte, she's a remedy to what are you talking about? Don't put that on people.
I think that there's a fine line between that, and also I think they were also trying to not humanize it, but try and guess what triggered it. It's he was beaten as a child, or he's always been under pressure, or he's always lived a privileged life, hence that's why he's experiencing these issues with his brain. And I think because they couldn't put a diagnosis on it, and they didn't want to put a name on it, most things, they didn't want to call anything out. It just meant that we as a viewer have to interpret what we think is going on.
Yeah, and I think actually the main problem is that it's a rom-com.
Yeah,
and
it's not.
It's the whole point of those things is that love has the ability to fix everything.
Yeah.
And so the feeling that you're left with at the end of this is that like love conquers marriage.
Yeah.
And then also it doesn't, because he's still mad.
Yeah.
Like she hasn't cured him.
But if you could tell by the end of the episode, at the end of the series, he is very much there. But even though it was crazy to be like, he's mad, but he's very cognizant when he sees Charlotte.
Yeah, again, the idea is still that like Charlotte is just, she's that one thing. If that was the case, why is he not living with her then? Yeah. Then he'll be good, right? Because all I have to do is look at you and then I'm good.
I mean, I think what it did show, and I think it's for many people that do have partners or people that they know that have mental health issues, is that yes, it does take a toll on your loved ones. I think that's what it was trying to show, through how Charlotte was lonely and Lady Danbury saying, "Oh, she must be one of the loneliest women in England."
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, but that. I think it was nice to show that. I was hearing a lot of people saying, "Oh, I cried after watching Queen Charlotte." I was like, "Cry?"
The last episode, I will say.
Did you feel emotional?
I did when Brimsley is dancing with Reynolds, and then they cut to Brimsley and he's older and he's by himself.
That's sad. Yeah.
I said, "You're not gonna get me."
No, that was sad.
Because that would have got me. That was sad.
Yeah.
I said, "This isn't fair." Oh, and even before that, when Queen Charlotte's like to him, "Oh, you never married? Don't you have any family?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I exist to serve you." And I was like, "Well, we know that in the past he had a relationship, so clearly something has happened."
Yeah, they didn't talk about what happened to the guy. I'm assuming he died. Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, this is heartbreaking." And that leads me to my point, which is like, as much as I want to suspend disbelief as you do when you watch a TV show, I have a real problem feeling sympathy for royals.
Oh, okay.
Like because such a big part of this is people who've either been born into royalty or who've married in being like, "I don't want to do my duty," and it's like, it's your fucking job. I'm so sorry if you get a job in Tesco stacking shelves and then you spend all day being like, "But I don't want to stack shelves." Isn't someone going to come to you and be like, "Did you not sign up for this?" And I know everyone's going to say, and even George was saying, "I didn't ask for this, I didn't ask for this."
Yeah.
Okay, but your two options are kill yourself or do your job.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? You're now a big man. You have a wife. You're still sitting here being like, "I never asked for this." I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that.
Oh my God.
And equally, even her being like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this." You was a princess back in Germany. Was you not going to have to marry a prince and do your wifely duties? I don't want to hear about it. Call me a Republican. Call me a socialist. Call me anti-rich. I don't give a heck. I do not feel sorry for rich people and their rich problems. You are the king and queen of England. Yeah. What is the problem? Explain to me what the problem is. "Oh, I want to be able to do a farm." You can do a farm. Yeah. You are the king of England.
Yeah, true.
If you decide to burn this whole house down tomorrow, you still be the king of England. And no one can say anything they want to. Not one person can say anything to you.
Yeah.
So if you want me to feel sorry for you, you have to be for real. And and your problem cannot be, "I just hate that I'm the richest, most powerful man on the planet. Yeah. I hate it. I just want to be farmer."
I think he was picking and choosing when he wants to really bring that his authority as king, and also the time being was like, "But it's so hard."
Because towards the end, he's like to her, "I've got to go to Parliament, make a speech. You don't understand, this is the biggest deal. I'm the king, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, so today you're the king." So today you've decided to be king. Please just drop me a memo for when you want to be king or more, so I can keep up, because I'm confused. Because yesterday you were saying you want to be farmer, now today you want to be king.
Oh God.
Which is it?
I know.
And equally her, "I hate being queen. I'm running away." Oh, actually, I got to stay here and do queen shit. Yeah. Actually, no, I hate being queen. No, it is my duty to my country. We are one crown. So what do you want?
Yeah.
The whole way through the series, I was like, what I would love is for them to decide they're ready to do this, and then for the show to move forward with them having made that decision.
Together, yeah.
Rather than as and when they feel like it, they're like, "I just can't do it. It's too hard." So just leave me alone. And the show really did try to set up how lonely it was. Yeah. And I did feel for her in that, like, imagine marrying someone and they're just like, "Right, you're going to live in this house by yourself."
Now live in my house,
That is heartbreaking. I get it. But equally, it's like, You know, there's people out there, 15 children in one room. It's medieval times. They've had 15 kids, 10 of them are dead. There's only 5 left. And you're crying about, I have to eat a 4-course meal by myself. Be fucking for real. Charlotte. And Charlotte wasn't even my biggest problem. It was him.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. If all the people who didn't ask for it, I didn't ask for it as Charlotte.
No.
I was in my house, my
exactly,
own business. You
dragged
dragged me out here. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
But here we are. So what I need you to do is take your job seriously so I can take my job seriously.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But if you're not going to take your job seriously, I got to take my job seriously.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you want from me.
I see. Honestly.
It was winding me up.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was what kept the conflicts. Like you said, it was like a bit of up and down, like a yo-yo kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was the same in the present. Like her children being like, "You can't tell us what to do."
True.
It's like, you are royals.
Come on, guys.
What are you talking about? You have one job, which is you serve the state. Everybody knows that's what it means to be a royal. You don't get to go out and be like, "I just want to hit the clubs." No. You're gonna be here. You're gonna marry someone noble, and you're gonna have more babies.
Yeah, that's a really sad life.
Oh well. Oh well. And do you know why I say oh well? Because I'm the one paying for you to live that life.
Yeah, let's not forget
Let's
it.
swap that if you don't want to do it. I'm happy to do it.
Let's not forget that.
Today, if Princess Eugenia said, I can't be a princess anymore, I say, you can come work at my production company. I can go be a queen, marry whoever, not be a queen, princess, marry some dude, lie on my back. Fill me with babies.
You have to still go and do your...
Fill me with the babies.
Just to do like...
Yeah.
Royal,
cutting ribbons.
Yeah, exactly.
Patting little babies on the head. Wow. Yeah.
I'm so
Easy
done.
peasy lemon squeezy. What are you crying about?
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever had to get up and go work when you didn't want to go? It's freezing cold outside. -2 degrees. You're up at 6 in the morning. Walking to school. You're 15. You're 12. No one can drive you because your parents don't own a car because they're broke. You're crying about, I have to go and cut ribbon.
Finished.
Shut up. I'm sorry, I'm very anti. I feel like this coming off the back of the coronation, I don't want to hear anything from these royals.
The timings were like, it was very perfectly timed when this episode dropped and when the series drops.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
You don't have problems.
No. So you're not a fan of Spare. The silence tells me why
you don't have problems. You don't have problems. Your emotional issues are boring as heck. Do you know how many regular people marry a girl that their parents don't like and have to move to another country? A lot.
Lots, yeah.
You've written a whole book about it, so we should do what? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
It's very interesting.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think...
Interracial or not interracial? I'm not fussed.
It's the whole thing around privilege. I was... we had like a review. We were actually talking about beef at work.
Oh.
And...
Who's beefing?
No, Beef, the show. Yes. And one of the girls was like, I didn't like the show because I didn't like how privileged they were. And I just don't like seeing privileged people.
One of them was.
One of them was. The other one wasn't.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by that.
I was like, watch the show. Did you watch the show, Taylor?
I'll be honest, it was a very interesting review, like discussion anyway. But one of the things that she was flagging that I just don't like seeing privileged people on the TV. And she also said, I don't like seeing Succession. It's just so not fun to watch these unlikable.
Succession is a unique thing because, like, I get what she means in, like, Beef. She has a nice house and, like, you know, business. But in Succession, like, they're bums, basically. Yeah, they have nothing nice. They're miserable and their houses aren't that nice. No. And they can't keep a business together.
Yeah, whereas royals, I mean, everything is made for them.
Yeah.
But
I hear what she says. I find... I don't know if it's the cost of living crisis or my age or whatever it is. I just find it really hard to get behind people who, like, what problems realistically do you have?
Yeah. Nothing in comparison to the average layman.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we're all supposed to be like, oh, poor you. And it's like, well, this woman could pay to go to therapy. But instead she's choosing to, like, make bad decisions in her life. God. And then I'm supposed to feel sorry for her? No.
God.
I would love to go to therapy, but maybe I can't afford it because I'm in the cost of living crisis and I'm on the breadline. grow up.
Yeah. Well, this show would never have existed in this. Actually, no, sorry. This type of show and the relationship has existed over the last couple of years. The only other thing I was going to bring up was the Lady Danbury and the
Lord Ledger.
Lord Ledger and also the Lord
Danbury.
Goodness me, it feels very unnatural. Like her character was also very interesting. Whatever prosthetics they did, I know we talked about the darken the guy's skin to make him look older. It was very interesting, terrifying. But I also found it very interesting her character in terms of her being like, I don't want to get married. I want to live alone. After being married to Lord Danbury for so long and feeling that she didn't have an identity, and every single sex scene just felt really odd.
It was really sad.
Yeah, it's like her head was just getting banged to get her headboard, and then she would just look so miserable. And then when he died, she was just like, it is done. As if and we know she didn't kill him.
Well, she did. That pussy did kill him.
Yeah, actually, that one did.
Yeah.
Change things. But it was very interesting to see how like the titles that they were given was almost like a deal of just one generation, because they didn't believe the experiment would work.
Yeah, but even that story I felt like went on for a really long time. Yeah. Like, she was like, oh, I'm worried because my husband's died, and then wouldn't speak to Queen Charlotte.
Because she didn't want to burden her.
Yeah, but then spoke to Queen Agatha, but Queen Agatha was like, it's the king and queen's decision. So then she was just going to, sit on it?
Yeah.
And then towards the end, somehow, Charlotte has figured out and comes to her and is like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
I'm obviously going to help you. People like us need to stick together. I'm like, all this coded language, let's just say what it is.
Say what it is. Say. You're black, I'm black, we need to be black together, unite. My favourite scene was the one with Lamar.
I know, I made a note, I was like, Lamar?
No, Lamar. What I saw Lamar, I was like, 50-50.
Actor, he is not.
He's not.
Even when he was delivering those lines, I said, come on, Lamar. Have you ever spoken?
No, we see him as Lamar. If he was American and they watched this, they'd be like, oh, that's very nice scene where all the black aristocrats get together and say, what about us? Your husband has now died.
Why have you all come in my house?
Your house is the biggest because you bribed the queen.
I'll be like to my mates, who let all these blacks in? I'm a lady now. All these blacks doing in my house.
Oh my lord.
Also, Lamar's character's name is Lord Smith Smythe. I was like, this is so stupid.
Was his name like Lamar in the credit?
His name's just Lamar.
He is like, yeah.
He's Seal.
Yeah.
He has one name.
Yeah, but what song has he done? I mean, apart from 50-50.
He had quite a few songs back then.
He did, but...
If There's Any Justice in the World.
Oh my god, that's what I meant. Yes.
Don't sleep on Lamar.
Yeah, if There Was Any Justice, that's a great song. That's a very sad song. When I was younger, I was like, oh, it's such a very sad breakup song. No one sang that to me. But I do wish there was justice in the world.
He only sang sad songs about girls being mean to him, because 50-50 is about how he knows that his girl's cheating on him.
Yeah, true. You shouldn't have dissed me. Step back, don't try and kiss me. Right about now, I'm 50-50.
And it's not even that he was like, oh, you cheated on me and I don't want you. He's like, I'm still thinking about it.
Yes, true.
Oh, this is sad. This is sad. You need to want better for yourself, Lamar.
Come on. But so that part was really interesting to kind of see the rise in black aristocrats and in that society, or in the ton, or whatever they called it. Yeah. And then the relationship with Lord Ledger, which again it surprised me because I didn't realise that was the woman Bridgerton's father.
No, I didn't realise until he was like to his daughter Violet, and then they were like Violet. And I was like, what's the likelihood that these are two different Violets?
I know. I thought it was the husband. I thought it was Violet's husband. I was like, oh my goodness, she knows that he cheated on the husband. But I was like, age-wise, actually, are we supposed to assume that Lady Danbury
is apparently much older
than Violet? And
but Violet is like maybe 17?
What in the show?
At the point where her dad meets.
Oh, I thought she was younger.
I thought she was like 17 because she's out. Remember towards the end, the mum was like, "I don't think she should be out yet," and the dad's like, "I think she's ready." Yeah. And you're only really out when you're like, 18. Yeah. So she must be like 17.
Yeah.
And it's based on the fact that Queen Charlotte is 17. It's likely that Lady Danbury is like 21.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. She looks so, I was thinking, she looks so young. And also, that's so inappropriate if she's that young. And she was there like...
Oh, she's a wife. She's a widow.
Yeah, she's a widow. And she was there like knocking boots with the Lord Ledger. And I was like, I actually really like their connection. I thought it was very... I knew...
They went on walks.
They
it was
went
all
on walks.
very tasteful.
It was very, very tasteful. But I knew there was something up with Lord Ledger when he was like always defending like the black aristocrats. I was like, he liked black women.
Oh.
And I said that out loud.
I didn't say anything. I thought he was just being polite. But when he said to her, I like you, let's be friends. And then it was the first time they met, I said, well, it is what it is.
He gonna be knocking boots.
It is what it is. But even that, I thought he played it really cool. Because I was like, that could have just been a friendly...
Yeah,
let's
true.
be friends.
Yeah, it's true.
It wasn't like leering, suggestive, wink, wink, wink. He was just like, oh, I like you, let's be friends. And that's because he had poisoned her husband. So he knew, that's not going to be here for much longer.
So we should be friends.
Yes. Let's be friends, yeah?
But yeah, it was very sweet. And then all of a sudden I was like, don't kiss him. You're going to lose all your land and your titles. And then she kissed him.
But realistically, we could have merged land and titles.
Yeah, they could.
Your land was right next to my land.
Oh yeah, we could,
kill your wife. Because I don't know how we're going to get the wife out of the picture. But
and I'll adopt the child because the child seems to love me.
Yeah, and then we could be Lord and Lady Ledger.
Take two. Take two, yeah.
With the Danbury land.
Yeah, I mean it's very we had to rewatch that sex scene just so that I can like how Lord Ledger could have done with a bot double.
You know, it kind of low-key reminded me of, and I feel like this is just going to be imprinted in my head now. It's like sex scenes that keep me up at night. But that scene in Unprisoned where, right at the beginning, where Kerry Washington's having sex with that white guy and he's like, do you remember when I put my fingers in your mouth?
Oh God!
And the least sexy.
Yeah, it was not good. That was not good. But I thought, moving off that, but I love the point where they were talking about like...
But I love the sex scenes with George.
No, I love them. No, I didn't love them with George. I just thought George had a great...
You did love the sex scenes.
He had a great butt.
You did actually call me at one point.
No, I 100%.
Listen,
don't start putting lights out.
My Netflix password for me because I can't stop watching these sex scenes with George. It's the 17th time I've watched it now. It's 3 a.m. I need to sleep.
I think that George squatted very well. The only other thing I was going to say, or 2 points. One was that I was just really happy that they talked about like
2 points is butt cheeks. Point one, the left one, and point two, the right.
I was happy that they talked about like older women wanting to feel love and romance and sex and just not feeling like, everyone talks about the girls and the young ladies who are like in the courtship and in the balls, but no one talks about like the older women, the widows who still want to find love or still want to be touched. And I think they kept using...
I didn't like the flowers and bloom.
The analogy.
That made me feel sick.
The flower analogy was something like, wow.
I don't want to hear about anything blooming, to be honest. Really I don't even want to hear about a young person. I don't want to hear bloom. I was like... In reference to my garden longs to be touched.
I was like... Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Go to church and pray. That's what you should do this. Prayer helps.
Oh god! And then the second point that was like that hit me because I'm also a fan of Bridgerton, the previous seasons, was that Violet was so like kind and open about like the black aristocrats entering the town and becoming part of society or becoming part of their high society.
Yeah, lo and
behold, all her children are in interracial relationships. Every single one, apart from Colin, because I think he's going to be with Penelope. Yet, yeah, who knows?
But isn't Penelope his sister?
No, the other girl, the friend, the sister's friends who people assume wrote.
Yeah, but isn't she their sister?
No, she's not.
Oh, I think she's their sister.
No, she's not. So that's gonna be, it just shows that your acceptance of difference. Nicola of Colin, yeah.
What did you say?
Don't worry. Absolutely don't worry. But I think it shows that your acceptance of difference and different people and backgrounds happens when you're younger. And sometimes you need to throw away the seeds.
Do you think if she'd known her dad had had sex with that woman, she would still be like, we have to love everybody? Or she'd be like, no, you're right. The blacks are the problem. One of them tried to steal my dad from my mother.
I think that's something we never need to know now.
No, we don't.
She's still buddies with the friend because they said that tea. I was like, you know what? Well, I know, you know, we all know that you were messing around with my dad.
But you're also forgetting Queen Charlotte and King George, fixed racism. So by the time it gets to Violet's children getting married, it's really not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it makes
sense. Yeah, it makes
we
sense.
have a black queen, and we have 30 slightly biracial.
Oh yeah, go with the kids. I was like,
a real mismatch.
Where are we going with these kids?
I was like, this is quite interesting, actually.
I was like, because some of them are really giving me, I'm a quarter black, and some of them were giving me.
Some of them are giving me, I am a mixed race person.
Yeah,
and some of them are giving me, I am white. And I will not be, no one is going to challenge me.
Yeah. No, I agree, 100%.
I walk down the street, everyone's like, white man, white man.
Because there was that scene where it was like the son and the daughter comes to to Queen Charlotte and says, we are representing the family. I said, have they just picked
two
random people? You guys are supposed to be brothers. If it wasn't for the fact that all of you are standing and sitting next to each other and said, I have, I think it was 16 children she had, but three of them died before they became adults. But
that's even worse.
Yeah.
What the state of that woman's 16 people come out of you. I don't even know what that would do to your body.
They just start walking out. By the time you get to number 5, probably 6 or 7, they're just walking out.
Is it even good for you to have that many children?
I don't think so. It's just strengthening your body. Also, let us be real. There was in the medieval times. 2.
It was like Victorian times.
It was okay, 1800s, and also really and truly,
it wasn't even Victorian because technically
it was pre-Victorian.
Yeah,
it was pre-Victorian actually.
Yeah, Charlotte is supposed to be Victoria's great grandmother.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, they were already even hinting at the fact that childbirth, the experience for black parents.
Oh, grandmother rather than great grandmother.
I mean, okay.
Grandmother.
Yeah. Going back to that point, that scene where she gives birth to that child.
That doctor was going to let her
die. It was hinted at the fact that, unfortunately, we live in a world where black mothers in pregnancy, when they're in childbirth, experience higher rates of mortality than their white counterparts, which is hinted in the show. I don't think it was done, directly.
No, because the show is not saying anything politically other than you can fix racism.
This show is British. Like, it's really British in the way that it addresses or the lack of addressing any issue. It's very passive aggressive.
Oh,
I'm sorry, it is. And it's ironic because it was written by Americans, most likely.
Yeah, I think Shonda said, I want people to think of this show as escapism, so let's not talk about anything detailed, okay? Like, we're not even gonna... Even our portrayal of madness is very, theatrical.
Yeah.
He's talking to the moon. He's drawing a wall.
He's shaking.
It's like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Like, once you suspend, you're like, this is garbage. In terms of, this is not... You're not gonna learn anything from watching this show. Then you can enjoy the show. Yeah. And you could argue that you do learn something. Like, I have been thinking a lot about the quote of, what you were saying earlier, love is like a choice that you make. Like, you choose to... it's not about feeling, it's about choosing to, love and be with someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's interesting. And depressing, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's like, right... If you're saying the feeling's not important, then you are saying I can just pick a man off the street and be like, right, I've decided it's you.
No, don't. No.
Obviously, I was then thinking about it. That's a very crass way of thinking about it. But what I was thinking was, actually what that means is that you pick someone who you think is worthy of real love, right? And then you just say, well, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then both of you just continue to
work
on it.
Yeah.
So... Maybe that's something to take into the rest of your life, girlies. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, after conversations we've had over the last couple of episodes, which has been really about love stories, I feel like this is very nice. This was a very nice, idyllic view on love, relationships, especially from an interracial lens. But anyway, should we rate it?
I'm going to give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3 too.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it. Would I say that, I think that I don't know. I wish someone could like interview Shonda Rhimes and be like, what's going on?
But this is the same thing. In that interview is a panel with Shonda Rhimes and Mindy Kaling.
No, I don't want to speak to her. I want to
find out
Shonda
what
Rhimes.
is everyone's obsession with white men. And why are you trying to force it down our throat? And I may throw you on the panel too.
Excuse me? Not this slander. After I have been so real on the podcast about your behaviour and then you choose to slander me.
I'm actually done.
Listen, I already said what I said at the top of this meet.
Pure lies. Pure
what
lies.
I said, well, the top of this review was, it is what it is. Watching this show has reminded me I still have work to do. Because why was I like, wow, this even and odd days montage is really doing something for me. When he's in the bath and then she comes in and he's like, just get in the bathroom.
Oh God! I'm saying,
wow,
that was one of the least sexiest scenes.
These people are obsessed with each other.
When he was having sex with her in the dining room,
that was crazy.
I was like, guys, for real.
And then one of the servers was like trying to pick up, and everyone's like,
go! The minute they start kissing, I was like, why are you guys sitting there? The minute they start
wrap this up, well,
I'll walk out now.
It's time for us to go.
I mean, I would love to be in that throes of passion where I'm like, I don't care if anyone else is around. Let's do this, baby. But I cannot imagine.
No, there's like 20 people
in there. Like,
if it was like one or two, I can imagine being like, yeah, who cares? There's 20 people stood right next to us. It's not even like they're far away. They're right here.
Yeah.
And I know you guys can see them.
Of course. But they're like, don't care.
They were so horny.
Yeah, they were.
They were young. That was a montage of the two most horny people being like, I hate him. I hate how he breathes. I hate how he walks.
But I was
also
like,
that is the talk of a woman who is obsessed.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
With someone.
100%.
Oh, I hate when he kisses me on the mouth. It drives me crazy.
I'm sorry.
I hate it so much. It's just, he's so annoying. Like, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a great show to just like binge and also have in the background. And I love Bridgerton, the world.
I bet you do.
I did love Bridgerton.
Yeah, it was a celebration of interracial love.
I love it. And I love the men that Shonda Rhimes picks. Keep on picking hot guys.
Hot whites, did you say?
Hot guys. I'm actually going to get you. Bring in more reggaes. Bring in more, what's his name? Corey's.
Don't act like you don't know his name.
No, I was going to call him Colin.
Don't act like you don't know
Colin
his
as
name.
well.
Because why would I walk in here and there's a poster of him on your wall?
Shut up, you idiot. Now you know. Now you know
right
she's.
Now
you know she's lying.
She's got a 6 foot long
she's lying.
poster of
He's
this man.
He's a child to me.
That she's printed herself as well.
No, I'm good, thank you. I just said he was a very attractive guy, and he's probably gonna blow up very quickly after this.
Yeah, I bet.
So, yeah, I do. So next week we are reviewing Blue Lights.
Yes.
On BBC.
Yep, it's
iPlayer.
A massive rom-com about two people who meet at work and they are police officers. And
ooh. Is it a comedy?
No, it's a procedural. It's a police show.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very, very... it's a nice palate cleanser, I think, for what we have been watching, which is filth.
I mean, a lot of our shows have not gone more than a 4 out of 5 over the last month, so
yeah, they've been okay. Nothing's really blown me away yet this year.
Beef
was good.
Beef was good. But apart from that,
well, you didn't love Swan?
Not as much. No, not really.
Last of Us. I mean, season 4 was a real letdown. I was really looking forward to that.
That was a bit of a shame.
Perfect match.
No. I mean, Love is Blind, we talked for weeks because it just had so many layers.
Loki actually think Perfect Match was more
entertaining.
Yeah.
No.
I gobbled those episodes.
Yeah, it was to me it was too much. It was chaotic. Whereas Love is Blind...
That's how I feel about Married at First Sight, so I can't watch the new season. Yeah. It's just too much.
The 26 episodes is a commitment that I don't think I have time for right now.
Well, actually, I would keep saying that I actually have Channel 4 now, so I can skip and not have to watch ads.
Oh, that's good. Okay, but yeah, to me, if it was like 10 episodes, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be watching because I know it's got drama, but also now it's so late that everyone talks about everything, and they keep advertising things to me as well. So
I might start watching it.
Yeah, in the background.
I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week we'll be reviewing Blue Lights on the BBC.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, well, that has been Queen Charlotte, and from one queen to another queen to another queen, we're gonna wrap up and hand our crown over to you, our listeners, who can like, share, and subscribe.
Honestly, sorrows and prayers to me, in this moment of hardship. Please send me your sorrows. Please send me your prayers.
That was a great segue.
I need all of your prayers at this trying time. Like, this is actually the most difficult. Like, this year's been hard, but nothing's going to be harder than the next few weeks for me. So,
oh my gosh.
Pray for me, girlies.
That she gets what she needs.
Yeah.
Tickets to Club Renaissance.
That I am on stage with Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the tickets is a low. Pray for the high thing, and maybe I'll get the tickets.
Yeah,
okay?
true. Yeah.
I need to pray that I'm on stage with Beyonce.
Honestly.
So at the very least, I'll be at the concert. Okay, girls.
Well, this has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie.
Bye.
Bye.